Just showing some little parts to the build. So the motor we have, let's see if I get a better picture. There we go. Mounted, and the way it's mounted on these aluminum blocks that span the whole front end, and literally this thing only an inch off of the chassis clears the plugs by about, well, let's just say barely rubbing. But you'll go from your primary to your secondary, just like on the snowmobile, and then it's going to come through under the steering. And I wasn't going to run it this way, but I feel like it's going to, because I'll be able to re-gear it. I'm going to use the whole side cover to the snowmobile that usually goes from primary, secondary shafts over, comes out here, gear set here, cogs to the snowmobile track. Well, mine will come down here, and then I'll be able to go into the second shaft, which I don't have by, oh, I do. Second shaft will be here, and this will have an oil bath. And then I'll have a sprocket running to the rear axle. Not the best spot for video recording here because I'm in a tight spot. I got a fucking car above me. I did take the cover off of the water pump because it was hitting my hood or bulging the hood. My cover will be the hood, so everything's coming together pretty well. It's going to be ridiculously fast. I'm kind of nervous about it. So when I get this done, I'll take a shot of it. It'll make more sense when it's all cleaned up. So I got the drive in. Another thing I really like is that I'm going to have a brake mounted here. I might even have one on the axle in case a chain breaks. This was more of a performance sled. It actually has the coolant cooling the brake system, or heating it up, however you look at it, for how hot brakes get. Coolant at 210 degrees is actually cooling it, but as you can see, I robbed the gear, the small gear for the power tracks. If anybody out there's got one, please let me know. In the market for one right now. And I know every time I call the damn motorsports places, nobody's got any parts, especially what I need, old stuff. And right now it being summer, I doubt they're gonna have it in stock. Might try Amazon. Amazon might have it. But like I said, somebody might have a part sled out there that I can rob it off of. That'd be great. Let me know. Thanks. Update here. I don't know if anybody's ever made a tractor go over at 7 to 10 miles an hour, but even at 30, the steering's pretty reckless. So I was gonna change it out and do 2 gears, and then I remember being at Bonneville Salt Flats, and you're only touching a couple of teeth on a gear. So if something separates or a tooth ends up breaking, you're still without steering. So the best way is sprockets with a chain, multiple teeth grabbing the chain, and then you can gear it however you want. Not that I'm not trying to be safe with it, but it's a lot of time. I feel like I can kind of upgrade this. So I've tightened up the gear, a new bushing, so there's absolutely no play. Instead of the pin clevis latch over thing that goes on it, I actually have a collar with an Allen I'm going to put on it. And then I'm going to drill a hole and put a cotter key in it just for extra insurance so I can't lose the steering. These actually aren't half bad. It's a bunch of smaller teeth which contact pretty tight. But I'm seriously going to take this tractor and top it out. I've got some charts on the computer. Actually, I can pop up real quick. I've got 2 different ways of gearing this. Oops. I don't know if that's easy to see, but on the snowmobile they have your primary, your secondary. It jack shafts over to a gear set with roughly I think like a 21 or 24 tooth down to a 40 to 45 tooth with like a timing chain set up to your cogs to your belt. Usually when anybody transplants the snowmobile motor, they'll use the primary, the secondary, and they'll sprocket off of that jack shaft. I'm actually going to run the whole side case, show you real quick, from the snowmobile on here, which is going to add some strength. I think the bearings mount a little better and it's a little bit more stable. I do have a liquid cooled caliper that would have been on the snowmobile that'll be on here. I think I'm still gonna run a brake on the axle, because if the chain was to break from here to there and my brakes are here, you can see where that's gonna go really bad. So then back to the gearing. Oh, and that's what I was saying. So it gives me 2 spots to gear it, at the crankcase and from there to the rear axle. So some gearing I've messed with. If I do a top gear 25, a bottom of 39, that motor does rev 82 to 85. You can see safe zone 132 miles an hour. We're in the power band for a while, 147. That's now beating the record. Danger, 100 and almost 60 miles an hour. And I have no doubt that the weight of that will definitely pull it there. This one's actually a 22 top gear, a 35 bottom gear. And this one gives me 133 miles an hour, 148, and a little over 160. I'm pretty sure I can gear this thing for just damn near 200 miles an hour without having ridiculous size sprockets or gear sets. I just don't know if between wind turbulence, the aerodynamics of this thing, and the power, which online I keep reading this motor somewhere in the upwards of 112 to 130 horse. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can get 100 horse to take 300 and something pounds to 140 something miles an hour. So this is gonna happen. I'm gonna give it a shot. It might fail. It might not even get moving. Who knows? It's completely made out of hand-me-downs. I just wanted to put out there all the haters. It'd be real nice if people didn't wish harm or, failure or, an accident. I was actually just telling my wife I almost don't even want to run the damn thing, just in case something does happen and they feel bad. I mean, that's pretty decent of me to worry about people commenting on something bad happening and me feeling bad that it could happen for them to feel like shit. Or they're just terrible people. So it'd be nice to just hear positive comments and feedback and all that good stuff, because my adrenaline gets going pretty good, and it takes more and more every time. And I'll tell you what, this has got me a little nervous, but we'll take it nice and slow the first few runs. If it don't feel stable, we're not going to push it. But I mean, it's a whole lot of horsepower in a tinned chassis Craftsman lawnmower. So I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks to be able to do some test runs. I mean, I'm at right now finishing up the drive. I gotta cut some chain, put some tensioners in, make sure the brakes are good, adjust the steering. But I mean, once I pretty much wire this, figure out where the radiator is gonna go, which again, it's not gonna run very long, so it doesn't have to be very big. Oil tank and fuel cell. So let's give it 2 to 4 weeks. I mean, a week I'll have it fired up, making noise at least. Doing a whole shot in the backyard before it overheats. So stay tuned.